If you're stuck spending less than $1,000 per month on ad and you're not able to scale to grow your business, I'll walk you through how I consulted and helped a company spend more money on ads to scale their business. I consulted on a $30,000 offer for a hiring agency. Mostly they were spending around $1,000 every single month on ads, and every time they would try to increase the budget, everything would break and the cost per lead would triple. And then when I sat down with the owner, we identified two things that was breaking the system. The first one was that they did not have a creation system for ads. The second one was they were only rotating around 6 to 7 creatives per week, and knowing the new Andromeda update, we require more creatives for this amount of spend. Then they did not stack any winners, which means once you have something that's running and that's successful, you need to replicate it. You need to double down on it, because this is how you can grow your results. As well, they do not have any personal branding. One of the reasons is that their IG account, they had around 15,000 followers, got banned. And they were back running on an account that has like around 100 to 200 followers. So people were not trusting the company. For this reason, we're not asking them to have a personal brand like having millions of followers like Alex Hormozi, Iman, Ambro, Adi Malouf, Shelby. Like, we don't need this. We just need an Instagram page that shows trust. We just need an Instagram page that shows trust and authority, and as well where we have case studies. And since all of these components were not aligned, this was likely where the cost per lead was going up, and they were not able to get it down. The second thing was that their campaign lacked management. They were running it in a way that's very high risk. Imagine this: you have a portfolio and you're putting money on stocks where you're putting all your money on Tesla. They were doing the same. They were running everything on only 2 campaigns and only targeting cold audiences, people that they do not know. In best cases, optimal cases, you want to diversify your risk, which means you need to lay the foundation and run at least 6 to 7 campaigns for a budget like this. If one campaign breaks, you still have another campaign that's up and running. So when I break to them how they should run it, they should have a top of the funnel campaign. At least here you'll have 1 to 2 campaigns. The second one would be the middle of the funnel, and the third one would be the bottom of the funnel. Like every single stage would require 1 to 2 campaigns. And mostly you will find at the top of the funnel, this is like attracting new audiences, people who does not know you. So we want the ad to be very attention grabbing hook, and as well have like direct style of ads. For middle and bottom of the funnel, we're talking more about like testimonials, case studies, show numbers, show results. That's it. And the best that would work here would be video ads for top of the funnel. And then for the rest, you can test between videos and static images. Now, let's get into the numbers. Like every business owner here watching this video, we want to know what's the numbers. Their CPM was great. Their cost per lead was bad. Their cost per book call, they were getting around 300 calls every single day, was very good. All the way that their cost per book call was even lower than their cost per lead. And you might be surprised, but this is the truth. The secret is that they have a high functional sales team that's dialing in the leads that are opting into the funnel. As well, they have a good structure. They are organized and tracking everything into a CRM. They had all their numbers. So when I go in and did the consultation with them, they had all the numbers. So I was able to see what's not working and what's working. So this is very important. You need to always track everything when it comes to ads and marketing. Then their show up rate was astronomical, like 90%. This is amazing because as well, they were doing a lot of high volume dialing in sales. The second issue we saw is the close rate. It's as 20%, a bit more, a bit less than that. And this is one of the biggest issues. Like the close rate should be around like at least 30 to 40%, which is optimal, right? 20% is fine, but we want to optimize this section. And due to a low close rate, I was able to identify that the buyer that they had the qualified people that they are trying to get them through their funnel was not qualified enough and are not in their ideal customer profile. And the ROAS was between like 2 and 4. That being said, the funnel that they were running, although it was not optimized, and although the ad account was not optimized, the offer always beat the marketing. You might have the best landing page, the best ad account, the best practices, the best strategies, but if the offer does not meet the market, you will not be able to excel and succeed. Basically, the funnel was run an ad, have some clicks, traffic, create them, and run them to a website. Then from the website, people would opt in, watch a video, and then book a call with them. And then on the call, they would be hard sold to them, everything, and then the schedule and the follow-up to eventually become a customer. Ultimately, we want to have those benchmark. We want to have at least 1% CTR, right? The opt-in rate should be between 15 and 20%. The demo and lead rate between 10 and 20%. The demo and show-up rate usually would be between 60 to 80%, and the close rate between ideally 30 and 40%. That being said, now that we know what's the problem, what's the funnel they are running, and what's the cause, how should we solve this? So we have the old way of doing this, which is spend thousands of money on content and ad creative, and trying to find the best agency, to hire the best video editor, to hire the best content strategist to create this amount of volume, to go from 50 to 500, which would require a high cost on labor, and it's super time consuming, which means that since we paid more money and invested more money, we should have a higher ROAS. So ultimately your profit will be lower than what you want. And as well, this would mean that you would struggle and delay in the business revenue. So for example, to push 500 ads, this would require at least 2 months. But do you think you have 2 months to wait to spend money on it, to keep everything as it is, and seeing your ROAS decreasing and going through the ground and burning your money? I don't think so. So the new way of doing this is lower cost and requires to leverage AI, which means you will create AI UGC content. It's fast and there's no delay in revenue. So you can pull out 500 to 1,000 piece of content in like 2 weeks, and you will be able to do more profits and have a higher ROAS. Now, let's tackle the AI UGC side of things. Basically, how you do the ideal client profile, you would do the ideal UGC profile, because these people will be the face of your brand, and you can get so much real with those that no one will be able to identify that these are AI. So you just need to make sure that you put the goal, put their mindset, what they love, their wants and needs, and you'll have here the preferences, like what this avatar would look like, what would be the best for it to look like to attract our customers and to be like, do you want him friendly? Do we want him to be more professional, more chill? Okay. And this is basically how you're able to create multiple avatars, to run multiple ads and have multiple faces to business. Because when people see that they are targeted on ads from the same company, but this company like has 10 faces for the brand, then guess what? They will perceive you as high authority. So that being said, I want you to go and use these 2 strategies to fix your ads. And what I want you to do is to go and apply those strategies to be able to break through the 100K